Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas, You Only Live Once. We are on 293 out of 315 hit points, which I am very happy with, indeed. Where you join me just leaving Novak, that is just behind us there, and we've decided to leave town at this exact moment in time because we've got these lovely traders who have also decided that they're leaving town right now. And also, I'm wearing a spacesuit because, as someone's pointed out to me, the spacesuit has the exact same damage threshold as the top-notch reinforced leather armor I've got, but the space helmet has more, and incidentally it also comes with 40 rad resistance, which is a nice thing to have. And also, the little thing on top of the helmet wibbles back and forward, which pleases me immensely. So here we are in a spacesuit. And no one seems to mind. Everyone's totally cool with me just kind of wandering around like this. No one's has any problem with that whatsoever, so that's good. Here we are, we've just discovered Helios 1. I'm not going into Helios 1 right now, by the way, because I really want to keep following these traders. Obviously, I don't know exactly where these traders are going. I'm assuming they're heading up to the 188 trading post. And if they are, there's actually another ambush between me and there. For some reason, there's 4 different ambushes you run into between Nipton and when you get up towards the outskirts of Vegas itself. So I'm just going to follow these guys to let them deal with it. Because I love the fact that I've kind of taken to a habit of following traders around. Because if you were really genuinely, if there was a post-apocalyptic scenario, well, you probably wouldn't be wearing a spacesuit, but if you were wearing a spacesuit and you were looking to get from point A to B, and there was a trader who had an armed mercenary in their employ, then of course you'd travel with them. The first thing you'd do would be, hey, do you mind if I just tag along with you? I'm an extra gun, so I'll help out in a fight. But, you know, we're more likely to get there uninjured if we all go together. It's the first thing you do, and I love the fact that I don't normally do it, but this rule set's forced me to do it that way, which is great. It cheers me up no end. So there we are, Helios 1. We will come back for you later. Now, I'm pretty sure over there, yeah, I can just make out a petrol station over there. And let's see, am I in night scope mode? Yeah, the game decides I need to be in night scope mode right now. It's a petrol station over there. And there are definitely raiders, sometimes, I think jackals, somewhere in that area. They're very often hiding behind a billboard that I can't see yet. Possibly it'll come into view in a second. So I'm going to stay back. It's possible these guys are going to completely bypass that ambush. I'm not sure. If they do, that's not a bad thing. But actually, no, they're kind of, looks like they're taking a bit of a sharp angle in towards the trap there. So they might trigger it. I'm just going to be careful now, because I want to be obviously right at the back if this does happen. Are we looking at trouble? Oh, we're looking at trouble. And incidentally, if there is trouble, can these two guys handle it? Because they've got pretty good armour on. They're going to have better armour than anyone they're fighting. But I'm worried that they won't necessarily be that good otherwise. I don't know if gun-wise whether they'll be able to stand up to it. No, it looks like they're actually going to head around the left side of this of the dry bed. Which is alright, that's not too much of a problem. Because I think, yeah, no sign of trouble. Can't see any trouble. It looks like they're heading around this side of the lake bed, which I wasn't actually expecting. It's not a bad thing. Or are they just going to head straight through? Oh, that's ballsy. There's ants. There's fire-breathing ants in this lake bed. Well, I'll help out with the ants at least. There we go. We'll take out the ants for them. Help them out with the ants. Ooh, bloatfly over there. That's more dangerous than it should be. Because that's actually got a projectile on it. Alright, stay the far side of the bloatfly. That's it. We're running from bloatflies now. That's what we've got to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, that's it. Let's just take out all these guys. What are you shooting at? What are you shooting at? They can see something I can't. Okay. They're alright. They got this, I think. And dead. Good source of experience, ants, by the way. 50 experience points per ant. Very, very good. Also, keep an eye out. I don't want ants causing trouble for me here. Especially as there is apparently now red on all sides. There is now red on all sides, which makes me immensely nervous. Uh-oh. These guys are under attack. Is there anything? Okay, there's nothing behind me. I'm worried I'm in the middle of this dry lake bed and there's ants everywhere. That worries me. How are you doing, by the way, in health? Oh, you've got plenty of health. You're pretty tough, actually. Cow, no, get out of the way. Is there anything? Okay, I think they've dealt with all of that. Good. Good, good, good. Oh, hello. What's going on there? Who was that? Oh, that was a Viper gunslinger. Oh, I think that was the ambush I mentioned earlier. The ambush I mentioned earlier did show up. It just tried to catch up with us. Didn't go very well. I think I managed to hit him in the head there. Let's just get his stuff. I'm pretty sure he's normally got... Yes, okay, good. Decent machine gun. Leather armor reinforced. Worth selling, obviously. Okay, at this point I'm feeling secure enough to leave those guys behind. And I'm just going to run ahead up to the 188. I'm pretty sure all the ants are dead, which is good news. This is just a... Oh, this is not a different trader. Different trader? Just a random mercenary? I think this mercenary might have unfortunately lost the trader. I think whoever this was travelling with, the actual trader and the Brahmin are dead, but the mercenary decided to keep walking anyway. And as dawn comes up over Nevada, we reach the 188 trading post, which is great news. Obviously, there's Veronica here. We're not going to deal with her just yet. Again, we've got a few other things to take care of first. But while we are here, there's a couple of new unique shops. There's almost have some very good stuff in them. So you've got the arms merchant up top. So she's very often got some special stuff you won't be able to find as easily elsewhere. So for some reason she always seems to have all of the upgrades for the 10mm pistol. I've seen that before. She's also very often the first chainsaw that you find in the game, which can be worth it, but for me probably isn't because it's too expensive. I need to save money for the minute. And down underneath the bridge, you've obviously got the gun runner salesman here. If you've got a high enough gun skill, he will sell to you. So guns are 40, then you can definitely go and have a chat with him about what he's got going on. No, I think we're good. I think we're good, actually, for all of those things. So obviously, the game wants me to go to Boulder City, which is where Manny told us to go last time. That's not where I want to go just yet. Instead, I want to skip ahead slightly, because we've now got a pretty clear run at Vegas itself, or at least all the neighborhoods around Vegas, because there's very little to actually stop you at this point. So that means I'm now going to run pretty much just up the main road straight towards the outskirts of Vegas, heading up on the east side of Vegas itself. I'm not going to cause any trouble with anyone, and if you stick to the road, there's literally no reason why you'd ever run into any trouble whatsoever. So I'm just going to head up this way. When you get to the crossroads with the NCR by the Flaming Barrel, that's as good a time as any to turn up and head round to the left. You could trigger the Aerotech fast travel location if you wanted to. That's right here, so you may as well do that. There we go. That's that triggered. Then, of course, we'll just be into the residential area to the east of New Vegas. Again, this area is really safe. If there's any problems with it, it's worth going through just for the mailboxes, quite frankly, because you will very often find skill magazines in the mailboxes. There's another trader, but again, we don't need to be following traders at this point. That's really not necessary. Most of these houses are boarded up. You can't get into them. But yeah, there you go. Programmer's Digest. Valuable thing. So you can't go and actually loot the houses themselves, but there are plenty of mailboxes that you can loot, so that is well worth doing. Fairly soon you run into this bridge with the flaming barrels both ends. That is a good sign that you are almost at a location that you do want to pop into. That's pretty important, so we may as well nip over there now, which is we want to go to Durable Dunn's Sacked Caravan, and that is just off this area. It's actually very close by indeed. So I think it's just a couple of bridges over is the location that we want here. Be a little bit careful in this area. Sometimes there can be golden geckos around. I think I'm safe, but just in case. This is the safest way to get to it, just in case. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're all right. I've got plenty of carry weight, and you do want to have some carry weight free, because obviously, in case you've never come across this location before, it's very important, but it's also a little bit dangerous. There we are, Durable Dunn's Sacked Caravan. We will find some Van Graff thugs, and they have some combat armor that, as you can see, is very, very valuable. Plus some plasma rifles, stim packs, all valuable good stuff. The Crimson Caravan Guard will have much less good stuff on him, but lever action shotgun's pretty good. The ash piles also generally have a bit of stuff in them, so don't disregard those. Another thug down here for some more combat armor. And another plasma rifle. And don't miss the Brahmin that's under here. Brahmin potentially has some stuff in it. No, not really on much on this particular occasion. I think I've seen him have better stuff than that in the past. Pretty sure I've seen him with better stuff than that in the past. So that was what we wanted there, and that means we can head straight back into the residential area, just over here. And here we are coming up on where I wanted to go. I'm sure plenty of you have guessed that this was my next destination. There is the New Vegas Medical Clinic, which is obviously where I want to go very soon indeed. But not quite this second, not quite this second. First, obviously, I've got to dispose of some of this equipment. And the fastest way to do that will be obviously the Crimson Caravan is right here. Ringo's here too, which is nice. He'll give me an extra pile of money.
Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Good Springs.
Thank you very much, Ringo. Something I normally forget to do, but I'm going to do this time. I've put on all my trader gear before speaking to Blake, because I want to get rid of one of my sets of combat armor. So he'll pay 1,271 for the best, or $1,000 for the less good one. Let's sell him the less good one for 1,000. And while I'm here, obviously, he's got a couple of books that weigh nothing. Stress and the Modern Refugee, and Tiny Tiny Babies, all you need to know about pediatric medicine. That's worth picking up for later. It will come up in a later part. May as well get it now. So having got 4,000 caps, that means I can head back outside. And on the plus side, obviously, that means we now have this combat armor. We're going to keep that one set of combat armor. That's pretty good. Obviously, that looks a little bit better. I think it looks really nice with the rat slayer as well, which is great. Meaning I can technically currently max out my damage threshold at 22, but to do that I need to look like this and just have a goldfish bowl with a little wibbly thing on the top of my head. So I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that really looks that great, so we won't put that on unless we have to. I think we look much better with just the sheriff's hat. So here's the good doctor. Let's have a chat with her.
I've also got several implants available to enhance your physical attributes.
Well, that's magnificent news. And obviously where I'm starting is I want to be more intelligent. I want to get my intelligence up to 10 at the earliest possible opportunity so I get more skill points.
For 4,000 caps, I can install a logic coprocessor.
Yep, that works for me. Here's the caps.
Have a seat in the auto dock. This will take a few hours.
You know, I always really liked the upgrade system through implants in New Vegas because it meant that money had a purpose. Because in Fallout 3, I always felt like I was sitting on a massive pile of money with nothing to actually use it on. Whereas here, you felt like it was worth saving up a pile of money because you needed like 16 grand for, you know, the best implants and 8 grand for the plus damage threshold implants and 4 grand each for all the special implants. Plus the guns. Obviously, with the Gunrunner's arsenal, there were lots of very expensive guns to buy. So I felt like there was actually a point to having a giant pile of money. I felt like there was actually things to buy, which was great. It's always a pet peeve of mine when you kind of are playing a game and it's giving you money, but you visit the shops and realise there's literally nothing worth buying. Because it really takes me out of it, because it makes you feel like the world doesn't really have a functioning economy at all. Because obviously if it had any sort of functioning economy, then that wouldn't be happening. That's one thing I want to grab, but just in case... Yeah, I think there's a mad Brahmin over there I need to kill. Just in case. I think he's dead. There we go. Yes. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the mole rat place, and all the mole rats have unfortunately been killed by a single mad Brahmin. I was never sure if there was like some sort of backstory I was missing slightly here. Yeah, the mole rat ranch, but when you get here, all the mole rats are already dead, and there's a single Brahmin in here that seems to have killed them all. I think there's possibly a story here I'm missing, but never mind. Anyway, I'm partly here because I want to pick something up. I want to pick something up very important. It's from one of the houses round here. There's a little good loot spot. This one? I think that might be it. Yes. Okay, I think this is the one. This is a little bit dangerous. This is the very kind of northeast of the outskirts of New Vegas, and this is very dangerous because this house is full of traps, but it's also got some really good loot in it. So let's take this nice and careful. Now, I need to remember what's going on here. Open the door, then back off. Okay, we've got frag mines. That's the first thing we have. Right. Disable. And disable. Now. That's not it, though. There's totally going to be more. Just so you know. There's a 9-9 there if you happen to want that for whatever reason. Some irradiated, delicious irradiated beer. There's a tripwire on the back. Disable that. Then you've got a locked door hard. Ooh, I'm not sure ready to actually do that one yet. Right, well, I'm going to nip back to Crimson Caravan just to crack open a few things until such time as I level up in that case. I'm extremely close to the next level, so just opening a few locks should do it. Here we are. This safe might do it. I was only doing that for the experience, but that's not going to stop me stealing the money, incidentally. I've come into the guard barracks. All the guards were here. This one's decided not to go away. If anyone catches me robbing the guard barracks, I was only doing it because I wanted experience of opening locks, okay? That was it. That's actually true. I wonder if they'll believe me. There we go. There we go. Done it. Good. Okay, good. The thing I wanted to do is get lockpick up to 70. Oh! No! 70 flipping 2. I needed to get it to 73. Because if I could get it to 70 flipping 3, then with my hat, that would have been 75. Alright, never mind. Okay, we'll leave that. We'll come back to that. Let's get lockpick moving a little bit up anyway, because we need it to. In the meantime, speech also needs to keep moving up, because I'm going to need speech pretty high pretty soon, actually. Let's get this. Yeah, let's just get that to there, actually. Speech can move up a fair bit, because I need speech to be high quite soon. Let's just open up a little bit more of Outer Vegas. So obviously we've got the gunrunner's arsenal here. That will be useful to us, obviously. And we can also keep heading around this way for the easiest, and the safest way to reach Camp McCarran. Because you don't even want to approach it from the south, because on the south side there are a lot of fiends. So it's much safer to approach it from the north by kind of looping around and then heading back round to it. So there's also a gap in the fence to get you into the sharecropper land right here. So we'll just do that, and I'll head to McCarran through the gaps in the fence, cutting through here. I'll join you there in a sec. So yeah, far side of it, you will just find another gap in the fence, and this is actually Camp McCarran right here. It's just you have to go round here, and then straight to the left for the door. This is also, in case you've never happened to have noticed it, this is obviously where the intro sequence takes place, where the NCR Ranger shoots the raider. So obviously that is the Las Vegas sign up there, that's the wall that the raider's standing on, and then that down here by the motel and this car is where the raider gets his brain splattered out. So here we are right here, we've got McCarran, which is always good, and obviously we've got something that we want to take care of here. The main thing I want to do here is I want to get armed, because there are a couple of good ways to pick up good quality weapons in this particular area. The first one, this is one I actually didn't know about for a while. I only discovered this a few playthroughs back. I think it's quite easy to miss, which is the first recon's tent, right here. There's a sniper rifle sitting on the top of the second bunk here, and that's just free. You can just have that. The game does not mind you just taking that, as well as the magazines under the bed. You can just have them too. Which is kind of interesting. Everything else in here is marked as red. But yeah, mysteriously you can help yourself to that sniper rifle. And you can also sleep in these bunk beds. There's just space for you to just sleep here. It's kind of interesting. Sniper rifle's not in great condition, admittedly, but you know, it's not bad. That's not that bad at all. It's certainly a nice little extra to have. And there's also all these gun cabinets that no one's really paying that much attention to, which is, if nothing else, basically free money. The other main thing we're coming for is just to go inside the airport itself and meet up with James Shue here. Just ask him if you can help out at all. And the first thing I want to do is I want to make the Legion prisoner talk. Luckily, because I've got a fairly positive reputation with the NCR already, they will let me do that. I think if you're neutral or negative, you're not allowed to help out with this. But if you're in any way positive, so you've done more positive than negative, then you can. So that's fine, that's all I want to do. So I am then asked to go and help out Boyd with the whole situation with the Legion prisoner. So she is in here, and we can just chat as you start off this quest. So she's now got in, and she's going to have a little conversation with him. So obviously, a previous part I mentioned about reputations, that I need to maximise the amount of reputation I have with the NCR and with the Legion. The thing about this particular case is, if I do this the Legion way, which I don't think I can unlock just yet anyway, but if I did, you don't actually get that much fame with the Legion for doing it. If I do this the NCR way, I do get NCR fame, and I'm pretty sure I don't get Legion infamy. I'm pretty sure that is the case, that I do not get Legion infamy for getting this guy to spill the beans on everything that he knows. So, for that reason, I'm just going to do this the NCR way, because also I want to get this quest out of the way, because it unlocks another quest I want to do. So, I'm now in here, but I don't have my weapons. There's a couple of ways you can deal with him. Obviously, the one I think most people know about is you can use intelligence to make him think that you're a Legion agent when you're actually not. You can also use speech. This is a bit of a weird one. I don't know why it doesn't tell you the requirement, because every other speech check in the whole of New Vegas, it tells you what the requirement is. This one isn't. The requirement's 50, so I can pass this. So I don't know why it's there, and it then gives you a question mark as to whether you passed it or not. it's a bit odd. I don't know why it does that, but yes, Silus is not sure why I do what I do, and he's being a bit of a jerk. But yes, I can just taunt him, telling him his men are dead, and he tells me how all the soldiers killed themselves to evade capture, but obviously he thinks he can escape captivity, and I'm going to accuse him of cowardice.
I'll show you gutless, you sniveling bastard. I'll spill your guts all over this room.
Now he says that, but he doesn't actually stand up at all. So now obviously I'm locked into the speech options, so I can tell him you talk tough, someone's afraid to die, or I want to know how a coward can attain the rank of centurion. I think that one's probably the meaner one. Let's do that one.
Caesar's losing it. I believe that. He's been shutting himself in his tent. Privately, he complains of headaches. Whatever it is, it's affecting his ability to lead.
And just quietly continue listening.
Time was essential for my mission, but we waited 3 days for him to dispatch us. Another of his headaches. Does that sound like a man in command?
And I think that's all I really need. Just tell him he's been very helpful indeed.
This is about double the standard fee we'd give a consultant, but from what I saw, you're more of an artist. So think of this as your commission.
There we are, an easy 325 XP there. And obviously I haven't actually, I haven't gained any infamy with the Legion for doing that, which is good, yeah. NCR fame has been gained, 300 bottle caps, but no Legion infamy. So this is the best way to do it, I think. So that done, we can go back to James Shue and have another quick chat with him about his other problems. So start off by telling him that you can look into who's leaking NCR intelligence. And yep, he will tell you to crack on with that. So you want to do the very first step of, I put a spell on you here. So just speak to Curtis. And yep, just tell him you want to look into the intelligence leaks and where should I start? And he will tell you to have a chat to one of two people. You can either speak to Contreras or Boyd. This will open up a whole new bunch of speech options for Boyd, which is good to know.
You're back.
I am indeed Boyd, and now you can ask her, have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Now what kind of MP?
And she will tell you all sorts of things that she's seen. Where you want to start with is thefts. You want to ask her about the thefts.
I've got my money on Sergeant Contreras, who's supposed to be in charge of distribution, the little weasel.
And while we're here, you may as well also ask who's missing. So she'll tell you about the guy who's missing in Vault 3. James Shue already mentioned that. But then we've also got someone else. Anyone else? Yes, Corporal White. So obviously we know that he's gone a little bit missing, and we can offer to go and try and find him, and that will begin the whitewash. There we go. I don't want to ask about the break-ins though, because I don't want to go any further with the quest I put a spell on you at this exact moment in time. So that done, we can just head through into the concourse area. Just head right round here to the left, and Colonel White's locker will be right here, and you can get Colonel White's journal. That doesn't tell you much aside from a whole bunch of data about water. So that's good. We've also got this person standing right here, Christina Morales.
Did the Colonel send you?
And obviously she wants her husband's bodies back, which has been attacked by the fiends. And I'm sure we can help you with that, don't worry. So here's Contreras in the supply shed. You can talk to him, just buy and sell in general. He also does have some good stuff. He has like a bunch of 10mm machine guns, which are pretty good. He's obviously got some combat armor, that's pretty good as well. He'll sell you lots of drugs, including Ultrajet. I think, is he maybe the only person in New Vegas that will sell you Ultrajet? I think that might actually be the case. Because there's a couple of variants of jet. Because you can get Dixon's jet in Freesun, which is terrible and gets you addicted really easily, or Ultrajet, which I think you can only get from this guy. It's also worth noting he has a star bottle cap, which he'll sell to you for just one, so it's definitely worth getting that if nothing else. And he's also got, special 308 ammo, so he's got armor-piercing hollow point, so it can be worth just buying that up if you want it. But leave that alone, and instead I actually want to head straight upstairs. There we go, and his computer is here. A quick programmer's digest will let me open this. And, oh, happened to be literally the first one I went for there. Excellent, good. And we can download the weapons manifest. And would you believe there is clear evidence that he has been selling weapons to the gun runners. So, with that in hand, just go and have a chat with Boyd, who very occasionally uses a computer that is broken when she's not even facing it. You can hear that she still makes clicky noises. I love it when Boyd does this. She does it all the time. She just sits at this desk, doesn't even face a computer that doesn't even work if she were facing it. Anyway, let's have a chat with her. And I have proof that Sergeant Contreras is involved in criminal activity. And I have this evidence I found in his computer that he's selling NCR guns to the gun runners.
But for helping me nail this guy, I think you should have a little keepsake. Here.
And here's why I did it. And I have gained NCR fame, but more importantly, I have gained this machine. An amazing gun. An amazing gun. This machine, damage 44. It's this game's unique variant of the hunting rifle. You get given it in really good condition. I don't have the strength or the guns to use it yet, but even so, it's flipping amazing. It is a fantastic gun. It doesn't come with a scope, but it does have that little thing, whatever you call that. So it's got a little kind of aiming sight thing that's very, very useful. As for Contreras himself, the interesting thing about him is Boyd's not kidding when she says she's going to round him up. He does round him up, and he actually does end up in NCR prison. So here he is in prison. Though interestingly, in this case, he doesn't have anything in his inventory. You can just see. Hang on, if you get the placement just right, you can. And when you walk into the door, you can just reach him. There you go. So you can actually ask him if he's got anything for sale. I, in the past, have seen that he's still got all his equipment on him. On this case, he doesn't. He's got no equipment on him. So maybe I just stumbled across a glitch in the past. I don't know. So, but you can speak to him, and he doesn't seem to object to the fact that you threw him in prison or tattled on him there. But never mind. There we go. So that's kind of the big thing that I wanted straight up from here. I wanted that gun, or rather this machine. I didn't want that gun. That gun is a... Some of the guns in this game are confusingly named, unfortunately. When you've got things called, you know, that gun and this machine, it's going to be a little bit hard to remember which one's which. But that's this machine, an amazing hunting rifle, and definitely one that was worth getting as soon as possible. And as we said, we'd help her out. Why not do that? Let us get Morales' corpse here. And the NCR have a little outpost set up here now. And you're going to tell them that you're going to retrieve the body of Ranger Morales. He just says, that's the least we could do. I wish we could do more. Well, you could go up and help. You could help me, but I guess that's a little bit crazy too much to ask. Anyway, so let's just head up here. The best way that you can do is just to stick to this bridge here, so you're a distance from the fiends, because they are going to be patrolling on top of over there on that building. So can we see any of them yet? Yes, there you are. You can see them there. There's also these maintenance robots just floating about, but you don't need to worry about them. Basically, back off as far as you can. This seems like a good place for the rat slay. I do not need the flipping night scope on. I so don't need the night scope on. And then just take these guys out one by one. Okay, number one goes down. That's one fiend dead. Get a fair amount of experience for that. I'm in caution, but there's no chance they'll be able to see me. I'm way too high. I'm way too far away for that. Oh, the night scope decided to turn off. That's good. There we go. Second one goes down. And the third one goes down there, I think. And down, I think the final one goes with her arm blown off there. I think she only had spiked knuckles there, so she wasn't going to be able to do that much to me anyway. So, that is the 4 fiends dead. Pretty sure we're good now. Yep, can't see any evidence of anything there. So now the only thing we need to be careful of is there's going to be some traps in this area now. I am not seeing much in the way of mines. I was promised mines. I was hoping for mines. Alright, fine. Morales, you're coming with me, man. Here we go. And obviously we can loot him first, obviously. I mean, that's fair. That's perfectly fair. There we go. Don't want his armor, though. It's not very good, but it's very heavy. So now we just drag that down to the barricade there. The NCR still don't, you know, come forward to help or anything, obviously. Guys, you can help anytime you want. You can come and help with this body. It's pretty heavy. But you know what? It's fine. Me and this body have things to do. Alright, Ranger Morales. Time for one last bit of fun. There we go. Whee! Brilliant. I can never resist pushing a corpse down a slide. I've kind of got to now. It's almost tradition, quite frankly. Okay, come on. If either of you want to run forward to tell me what a big goddamn hero I am, that would be just fine. I'd be totally fine with this. Yeah?
Oh my god, are you okay? You've got to get to a medic. Doc Kemp can patch you up back at base.
I literally didn't get shot. I just had I'm just a sniper. I did not take a hit. Literally didn't take a scratch. Okay. Oh, hang on. Let me just... Okay, come on. You guys can have the corp. There you go. You can take care of him now, yeah? Alright, good. And I brought his body from an NCR position and he's on his way back home.
They put him in a box? With a flag and all?
You don't really get anything for that, by the way. I think you get a tiny amount of NCR. I thought you got NCR fame. That was kind of why I did that. But maybe not. Maybe you don't. I genuinely thought there was NCR fame in that. But never mind. Never mind. So with 3 very important things, the intelligence implant installed, this machine, an amazing gun, and some decent Van Graff combat armor, so I am looking in a much better shape overall. I think now we can finally just head over to Boulder City, and we'll quickly finish that off for this part, because that's very quick and easy to do, and it might be enough to push me up to the next level, actually. I think it might just be, yes. So here we are in Boulder City, and this guy is just paying his respects to the little memorial that talks about what happened here. Here's something I didn't know until very, very recently. If you do anything to this little memorial...
What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial.
So yes, I never knew that. If you shoot the memorial at all, obviously the guy who's paying his respects at it is not amused. And if you really want to, you can tell him you're a little bitch and your brother was too. Which is probably a recipe for trouble. So I'm going to apologise and say that was rude and disrespectful.
Alright, apology accepted. Don't let it happen again.
So that's just a little bit of free, that was just a bit of free experience there. You don't actually gain infamy for doing that though, don't worry about that. It's literally just a way of getting a bit of free experience off a speech check. So, there you go. And here we are, Boulder City itself. And if we try and go inside, would you believe... Oh my goodness, there's a hostage situation involving some great Khans. Yep. I think I can negotiate that. Yep, I can negotiate to deal with the great Khans. And I understand I'll probably be in danger if there's trouble. Yep, sure, and go in. So here's the NCR all drawn up, and the Khan's kind of in a defensive position in that building there. Don't go straight into the building though. I do have a better idea. There's obviously, there is some good loot. I know, I apologise. If you've kind of watched me play New Vegas before, you know I always point this out. But it's worth pointing out. There's lots of good stuff around here. So upstairs in the first house, there is True Police Stories and some Spiked Knuckles. 1 weight to 177 value, so definitely get those. Meanwhile, in the second house, you'll find a 10mm submachine gun. In the bath, which is great. It's not the first 10mm submachine gun you'll have found. I think there's one locked in an easy safe over in Prim in the Vicky and Vance, so you can just get that. But an ammunition box, and potentially more importantly, in this grenade box, plasma grenades. I've sometimes got as many as 4 there, but 2 plasma grenades is very useful. Obviously, hopefully I'll never have to use plasma grenades. If I ever have to use plasma grenades, something's gone horribly, horribly wrong, but just in case, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. These guys, if you are happy to kill them, then obviously you will suffer reputation loss with the Khans, but they do have some good weapons on them, so it can be worth considering. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to run straight past into Jessup himself.
You're that courier Benny wasted back in Good Springs. You're supposed to be dead.
And I love that I got better is one of the options. It's fantastic.
What happens now?
I get the chip, and we negotiate your release.
Don't have it. Benny stole it.
So Jessup confirms he doesn't have the chip, and we get 1,000 experience points for that, level straight up to 10. Fantastic. So never mind. Instead, let's have a chat about settling things between you guys and the NCR.
What's the negotiate? The NCR backs off. We walk out of here.
That sounds perfectly fair to me. Free the hostages, and that will happen. And he gives me Benny's lighter, which will be a useful piece of incriminating evidence later. So, then, goodbye, and up to level 10, magnificent. Now, lockpick up to 73, just as I was saying before, that's very important. Speech can also be moving upwards, good. Yeah, I'm just going to take the second rank of toughness and finish that off right now. That seems like a good thing to do at this instance. And with all that negotiated, just head back outside. Have a chat with Lieutenant Monroe, and he will tell you there is a problem. Even though you've made that deal, unfortunately, he's been told just to take out the Great Khans. Always tell him to honour the deal, because then you get NCR fame and Great Khan fame. It's the best possible solution.
You're right. The Great Khans are free to go.
So there we are. I'm accepted by the Great Khans. I get even more experience for completing Boulder City Showdown. And I gain some karma too, which is nice. There we are. So that is the best scenario to go for, really. And Lieutenant Monroe decides he can't be bothered with Boulder City anymore and starts heading back towards the dam. Sorry there wasn't much action in this part. We didn't have to do any sneaky or anything. I will make up for that with next part, because I've got one hell of a thing planned for next part. I've got something very special planned next time. I've got a special mission to go on to get something very, very important indeed. We stand at the very respectable 303 hit points out of a possible maximum of 325, and I'm very happy with that. So yes, next week we've got something very special. We're heading a long way off the beaten track next week. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Fallout New Vegas, You Only Live Once. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Ooh, blimey, he's pretty well shot. So, I'm using my police bars. I'm going to see the bullets went in here and here. And this stuff round here, the red stuff, is blood, which humans are full of, but comes out if there are holes in them.